Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Come on into the Arsenal fan circle. Now, I took today off for Easter Sunday. I was doing family stuff. And I was quietly confident today that we would get the win that we needed. Everything was going correctly for us. Yesterday, Manchester City beat Tottenham in what was a narrow scoreline, but they did beat Tottenham. They did us a favour. This morning, Everton beat Manchester United 4-0. And I was calling Manchester United Banter United FC. Now, if that wouldn't have been enough motivation for this Arsenal team to go out there and get a victory versus Crystal Palace, I don't know what. Because this is a time of the season where your willpower takes over and you need to get the results required to get over the line. In certain teams' situations, to win championships, to win titles. In our situation, to secure top four and to push home our advantage that we've gotten from this morning when Manchester United lost and from yesterday when Manchester City beat Tottenham. We were in a position where we could have taken third place, gone 2 points above Tottenham, extended our lead over Manchester United, and Chelsea tomorrow would have had to follow suit with us. Now, the whole thing begins with Unai Emery, and I have praised Unai Emery many, many times for his tactical awareness. I actually think he's a very good tactical coach, but the team takes his cue from the players that are picked. Every player has their own DNA, and they play in their own way. And each player is an individual and a personality. And each player plays to his strengths. And each player does have weaknesses. And to pick a team where half of them are not even fit to get into that first 11 is tantamount to dereliction of duties from Unai Emery. To pick a team with Jenkinson in it, with Mustafi in it, sometimes Kolasinac in it, El Neni in midfield, and Guendouzi, who is a limited player, a young player, a limited player, coming to the end of his first full season, is disgraceful. Jenkinson should never have gotten into the team. And I know he had injuries. And we couldn't risk Herrera. But to play El Neni, and for the team not to have the drive and the will to get a result today was disgraceful. Crystal Palace, we talked about Crystal Palace on one of our Sunday shows a few weeks ago where we talked about every team in the league, and I mentioned Crystal Palace. I did my homework, and Unai Emery knows this. Crystal Palace are a dangerous team away from home. Crystal Palace have won games away from home against big teams like Manchester City. They have dangerous players. So, Unai Emery knew all of this and still picked a team, trying to balance his squad. And we went out there and produced a very, very bad display. And I watched the highlights back, and you could see it was lackluster. You could see the players were not up for it. And that is a very, very big indictment on the players that we have in the team right now. Some players that we have in that team right now, we all know who needs to leave this club. We all know the players that cannot be there next year. And one of them I'm going to talk about because he is directly responsible for us losing this game today. And that player is, everybody knows his name, Shkodran Mustafi. He was trying to play offside for the first goal. But irrespective, there was no covering defender helping. Skadran Mustafi let Benteke move into the penalty area where he got a free header and scored the first goal. And you can see from the way Leno threw the ball back out that this team was not motivated today. We only had this game and one other game at home, and we needed maximum points from those games. Today, we didn't get it, and we're going to play Brighton the next game. But we need to win more games away from home now to cover up for this. This happened before versus Everton. We had an opportunity to really go ahead and secure a very, very strong position in the top four. Now, we're still in a good position, but we lost our initiative again. Versus Everton last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever, we lost our initiative as well by putting out a substandard team. It's clear that El Neni is not good enough for this club either. And to pair El Neni, even with injuries, to pair El Neni with Guendouzi was shocking. Again. We lost at Everton. We had the advantage to go ahead in this game, and we lost the advantage. Where was the motivation to get 3 points, go to third? Crystal Palace were there, were up for the game. They're a dangerous team. We needed to pick a stronger team in midfield. And Skadran Mustafi is the weak link. And if possible, he should not play another game for Arsenal. He should not play another game for Arsenal ever. This season, next season, he should be gone. Now, I'm usually an optimistic person, and this is the most of a rant you're going to see from me. But this is ridiculous. Skadran Mustafi was the cause of the first goal. You don't just put your hand up and claim offside. Everyone knows you played at a whistle, follow the player in, make it as difficult as possible for him not to get a clean header. And he just walked right in, and Benteke had a free header, which Leno almost saved. But irrespective, 1-0 down. We had an opportunity as well. The referee missed a clear penalty when Wan-Bissaka put his arms up in an unnatural position when the ball was crossed from Kolasinac. That is a clear penalty. VAR will cause its own problems next season, but VAR should have given us that as a penalty decision next season. But the referee and the linesman should be picking up on this stuff. Wan-Bissaka was in an unnatural position and he blocked the ball, the flight of the path, from going into the box. Should have been a penalty in the first half. We come out in the second half and we have a lifeline. Ozil, who was good today, started the movement, passed the ball to the left, and it was worked to Lacazette. Lacazette plays a wonderful inside pass, a reverse ball inside the defender. Comes to Ozil and he does that wonderful skill that he has, kicks the ball into the ground and it scoops up over the goalkeeper. And 1-1, we're in the game. But what happens minutes later? Skadran Mustafi again. A long ball was played, and I don't know why Koscielny felt that he had to go challenge it. El Neni didn't jump. Koscielny tried to jump. Neither of them got there. It was flicked on. And what does Mustafi do? He's waiting for the goalkeeper to come 20 yards out of his box. 20 yards off his line. And Mustafi's standing there with his arms out, trying to hold Zaha back. And Zaha goes around Mustafi and has plenty of time and he puts the ball away. And Mustafi's trying to blame Leno. Now that's a cowardly thing to do, Skadran. Cowardly. A cowardly thing to do, Skadran Mustafi. You're blaming other people for your mistakes. Everyone can see it. Unai Emery sees it. And Mustafi should not play another game for the rest of the season. Why don't you just deal with the ball, Mustafi? Kick it out for a corner. A throw in. Get rid of the ball. The youngest defenders at the youngest age, kids, know that. Deal with the ball. Kick it out. Then you start again. Football is a game of very, very small sequences of play all knitted together. Football is a very simple game, Mustafi. You get the ball, you're a defender, you clear it. You don't give the opportunity for an attacker to get past you. You don't hang your goalkeeper out. And I was thinking earlier against Manchester United that David De Gea is a decent goalkeeper, but he's being hung out by the defenders, Manchester United defenders. And this is what happened to Leno during December when we lost at Southampton. A goalkeeper is not bad overnight. It's the people in front of him that expose him. We've lost 3 goals now at the Emirates today. 3 avoidable goals, and they were all Mustafi's fault. And I'll tell you about the 3rd goal once I'm finished with the 2nd goal. Mustafi, you can't wait for the goalkeeper to come 15 yards off his line to get the ball. You deal with the situation. Kick it away. Mustafi, Skadran, the worst defender that we've had for years, and one of the most expensive defenders that we've had for years, and an indictment of the previous regime. An indictment of Arsene Wenger, who left the club a year and 1 day ago. Thank you, Arsene. Mercy, Arsene. You know, this is a rant. I'm telling you, this is a rant. I don't get angry about things, but we had a very, very good record at home. We've lost only to Manchester City before this in the league. We've lost to Manchester United and Tottenham in the Cups. And now we lost to Crystal Palace, a team we knew had a good record away from home, a team we should have been prepared for. And I'm not editing this thing. I'm just ranting. Because we're all feeling it right now. We're all feeling it today. We had an opportunity not to be a banter club. And yes, Manchester United fans, you can banter us because of this one player, Mustafi. A player that clearly is not good enough for this club. If we're fortunate enough to get top 4, if we're good enough to win the Europa League, if we get Champions League football next year, which I still think we can achieve, then yes, you can call us banter right now because of this one player who's clearly at fault. And if I see Mustafi dancing around in the dressing room again, I'm going to be so pissed off. I'm going to be so pissed off. Because he's a player who's going to wake up in the morning and not care. Not care about losing our advantage. The advantage was we had Tottenham losing, we had Manchester United losing, and we lost. We had the advantage. We should have won today. Should have been 3rd place. Do these players even want Champions League football? Does Mustafi care? Or is he at a point now where he's won a World Cup? I don't know how he's won a World Cup. And he's making money out of his club. He's bleeding this club dry. and he's not professional enough to go out there and take what we want to take. 3 points. We have 4 games left. We're on 66 points. I've said we need 76 points to establish top 4 at least. 76 points. We need 10 points from our last 12 games to be sure. Manchester United won't get top 4. So that leaves us needing to take care of business. Tottenham and Chelsea need to take care of. It's going to be between them two who's going to get the other spot. So I'm still hopeful for this season. And I'm not going to let Shkodran Mustafi ruin our chances for top 4. I'm not going to do it. And Unai Emery should be feeling the same way. Don't let Shkodran Mustafi define our season. Here we are in late April. We've got maybe 5 or 6 weeks left of the season. And Shkodran Mustafi is going to determine our season? No way. He should never be on that pitch again. I don't care who we have to play. But Socrates is coming back. Koscielny is coming back. And 2 of them need to pair up. And they need to sack up. Yes, I said sack up. They need to win games starting against Wolverhampton Wanderers on Wednesday. Because tomorrow, Chelsea's going to win. Now, we're level on points. We have a good goal difference versus Chelsea. We need to match what Chelsea does. Manchester United will play City on Wednesday as well. I'm thinking Manchester City will beat Manchester United. And Chelsea have to play Manchester United at the weekend. And I'm hoping Chelsea drops points. Here we are hoping. If we'd have won today, we would have been more confident. But now we're again very Arsenal. We're relying on other teams. We should have been above Tottenham tonight until Tuesday night when they play, because they will beat Brighton. Tottenham could probably drop some points between now and the end of the season, but we're hoping for results from other teams. We have to play Wolverhampton Wanderers away, Leicester away, which is going to be very difficult. I think we can take care of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Leicester away, which is very, very difficult. Brighton at home, and we're going to finish with Burnley away. We can finish with 6 points in the last 2 games, but this week coming up is vital. We play Wolves, we play Leicester. We need 4 points from those 2 games. And we need to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers on Wednesday because we need a reaction from this team. And we don't need Shkodran Mustafi in the team. So you lose the advantage. You gift a goal to Zaha, who I rate. He's a very, very good winger. I would really like him to come to Arsenal. And I would like Wan-Bissaka too. Because we've seen Zaha is a very, very good player. And he could link up with Aubameyang and Lacazette. And I'll get to those two. But I'm pissed. The third goal. And this is where we lost the game, effectively. But if the first 2 goals isn't where we lost the game. And it's Mustafi again. Corner kick that is flicked on. When the corner kick is taken, Mustafi is with MacArthur, whatever his name is, on the back post. And what does Mustafi do? He runs out and leaves his player on the back stick. The corner gets flicked on. Mustafi's already running away because this is what he does. He is a coward on the pitch. He is a coward on the pitch. He doesn't want to take responsibility and he blames everyone else for his own mistakes, his own shortcomings, and how he has won a World Cup. I do not believe it. The worst defender playing in the best German team ever must have been. Because he's got a World Cup winner's medal. And he can dance all he likes. Dance somewhere else. I don't want to see you again, Mustafi. The corner's flicked on and Mustafi's not marking his man. And that is the killer goal. 3-1 down. 3-1 down. Game over. Until Aubameyang gets a goal back. Through he scores something out of nothing. Aubameyang. Something out of nothing. That's what our strikers can do. But our strikers are very, very different personalities, and we need to complement them with a winger. Because Lacazette is very, very good at holding the ball and distributing the ball. But Aubameyang gets lost in our play. Aubameyang he needs the ball quicker. And he is a good striker because he's scoring a lot of goals for us. But he could score many, many more if we played with faster players in midfield and if we had a fast winger. That we could play more on the counter-attack like Arsenal teams in the 2000s. In the early 2000s. When we had Henry, who was fast. Aubameyang is every bit, well, maybe not every bit as good as Henry, but he is a very, very good striker. But we don't have the players to complement him. We need to go out this summer and complement him with a winger who's fast, who's speedy, who he can play off of. And we need players in midfield who have character. We need players who can move the ball faster, recycle the ball faster. And you all know we don't need El Neni. Now, this game was not lost through El Neni. He's a limited player. But it certainly didn't help. And we had Jenkins in the side. When Ainsley Maitland-Niles came on, he was much, much better. But this result was the one that we feared. Have been in recent history bad away from home. So we're all wondering where we're going to get the next 10 points because that's what we need. The next 10 points. And it always was going to be for the last 4 or 5 games. We needed to scrap and fight for the last 10 points. There was no fight. There was no intensity. There was no will to win out there today. And that is a very, very serious indictment on over half of that team that was out there. Over half of that team. And Shkodran Mustafi, please go. Find yourself a club somewhere else. Because we do not need you there next season. And I will be shocked if he is able to play, if he's able to start another game this season, or if indeed he's here next season at all. Shkodran Mustafi has to go. And Unai Emery knows what he has in his squad by now. He's here 10 months. Unai, you know who you have in your squad. Let's get rid of those players because this season is becoming in danger of falling apart if we don't get it right in the last few games. And that includes having a reaction on Wednesday night versus Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home. And traditionally, this team has been good enough to have a reaction away from home. Every time this season we've faced adversity, this team has been able to go out there and get a win. But those times of adversity have been matched with home games. This is the first time this season we're faced with adversity, having lost at home for a long, long time. For the first time in a long, long time in the Premier League, we have to go away from home and get a win at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Brighton got a result there. They got a draw. Now we're much better than Brighton. We need to get a result out there. We are going to be back in probably 5th place by the time Wednesday comes. And we're going to be back in a familiar position where we need to win away from home. We did it at Watford. We need to do it on Wednesday night. But what we also need to do is now concentrate on every game like it's a cup final. We have a semi-final to prepare for in the Europa League versus Valencia. Let's not talk about Chelsea or Eintracht Frankfurt. We need to concentrate on Valencia, because if we don't concentrate on Valencia, we're going to crash out at the semi-final stage. And Unai Emery needs to start picking strong teams. I'm not worried about sentiment. I'm not worried about players getting upset. Mustafi should not find himself into another starting lineup. Socrates, you have a responsibility to not get any more bookings that's going to cause you suspensions, because we have suffered because of our lack of strength and depth when you were out. Koscielny, we need you to play out the rest of the season, because this season with Mustafi, we're not going anywhere with Mustafi. So this has been a Rant video. Yeah, I'm out of here. Very disappointing. Now we're going to watch tomorrow and Tuesday as we get overtaken by other teams. We'll have a game in hand on Chelsea. We will have to match what Chelsea does for the rest of the season. Tottenham are breathing a sigh of relief right now. A sigh of relief. Because we should be above Tottenham at this point. And yes, Tottenham players are going to laugh at us right now. We should be above Tottenham now. This is so disappointing. But anyway, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and thanks for watching.